Man, probably a fun fact on me. Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish your story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do. Push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Happy Hump Day, how everybody doing it. Today's your boy, Coach Lee, back at it like we're mad at it. Hanging out tonight doing nothing but basketball show. Let's get the crew up in there so we can get this thing off and firing. We got some games to look at already. Coming right off the bat, straight out the infirmary, but he's here like a soldier that he is. My man, too. What's happening, man?
Hey, yo, man, I had missed last night. Not feeling too good, but I had to come on tonight, man, because I'm trying to fight it. One of the things I got to learn is got to fight it with doing something that we crafting, baby, and that is podcasting. So I had to come through tonight. Hope I sound good. If not, you know why.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, man. We got Rookie of the Year back up in this bad boy doing this thing with his chest out because the Celtics took down the Lake Show last night in overtime. My man Will, what's happening, man?
We here, man. You know how it go. Another day, beautiful day to do a podcast. Hope you're feeling good too. At least physically, because I know emotionally y'all got rocked up last night, man.
Nah, emotionally anything, man. That's what a rivalry consists of. And I want everybody that tuned into the game last night, because due to me not feeling well, I didn't catch the game. But seeing everybody's posted in regards to the game, these people gotta realize. Sometimes it doesn't even matter if the Lakers are bad in terms of record or team. Celtics either. They're going to go out there and they're going to both compete against each other. From what I seen highlights yesterday, Celtics went up big. The Lakers didn't deserve to even be back in that game, and they did, and they overcame it, and they went up double digits. Mm-hmm. It was a game of swings last night. The Celtics lost 2 straight games on the West Coast trip. It motivated them to have that back-to-back against the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like your normal back-to-back, So it did good for the Celtics. For a Laker and being a Lakers fan, it brought something up to you because you was able over there to play with the best team in the NBA so far, be it in the season. So shout out to both teams last night. Actually, been watching highlights. I didn't watch the full game.
Yeah,
it was good.
Neither team played great, but it's a rivalry. It's always fun. I mean, it was a nice little stretch down the end, going back and forth with Braun and and Tatum, and then a little bit of AD and Jalen, and you just got to see at any given time, there's 4 of the best players on the planet right there in that game. So it was pretty fun to watch, man. But
now, emotionally, if I was watching that game last night, I would have been
correct. Honestly though, watching it, you wouldn't have been that mad. I mean, you'd have been mad that you ended up losing it, but you wouldn't have been so mad at your overall performance just because, like you said, you outplayed what was expected from where these two teams are at right now. So it's a good game. You would have fun watching the game.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, Tuesday slate of games. It was a good game to be on a Tuesday. Not a lot of games on Tuesday schedule, but you got the end of your night course with a classic rivalry. So shout out to those guys. That's a crazy slate tonight. I don't know if you've been paying attention to games, but thus far, Steph Curry had 27 at the half. Warriors are down 20 still. They're down 6 now in the third, so that's something to open the night up. Orlando put up 50 points on the Atlanta Hawks in the first quarter.
Oh, that's always fun.
And they lead now 188 in the third quarter as well. You got the Pistons playing the Hornets tonight. Pistons up 95-90. You got Sacramento, Toronto. Toronto's up 62-59. Knicks up on the Bulls by 7 in the third, or going into halftime, sorry.
That's the ESPN right now. Boring.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You got the Portland Trailblazers up on the Spurs 51-37 as the WA, VA, or whatever you want to call the guy, man. Vanilla Wega, sweepstakes, looks like the Spurs each and every day want to compete for that. You got the ladder games later, Cleveland versus Dallas. You got Wizards versus Nuggets. In the end of the night, you got Timberwolves versus Clippers. So good stretch of Wednesday games. Wednesday always brings you that high flavor, high entertainment games. So.
See, Wednesday was just the ESPN night for games, right?
Yes, ESPN. Yeah. I believe it's Bulls, Knicks, the first game, and I believe it's going to be Timberwolves, Clippers. End of the night. I'm not too sure. Yeah, probably 10-10 start.
Fair enough. Well, let's take a look at the news for the day. We've got a couple of articles here that we're going to cover. Now I'm going to come back around full circle for us. But the first one is everybody know last year that the Suns kind of disrespectfully bounced the scrappy New Orleans Pelicans out of the playoffs. And they was up, doing like they normally do, high-fiving, talking noise, instigating. It's a team with Chris Paul on it, so I get it. But they felt some type of way. What's been done, dubbed as the Zion revenge dunk, as they was getting their heads beat in by the up-and-coming Pelicans. And he went out there and did a sick windmill dunk on them. And they felt some type of way, wanted to fight and stuff. So how y'all feeling about that? I'm going to digress, because you know how I feel about the Suns, but balls on y'all court.
I feel like I always feel in these situations. Stop them. Very simple. Stop the man. You don't want him windmilling on you? Stop the man. I believe he did it off a turnover. Keep the ball in your hands. What y'all doing? Simple, man. Like, look, I get the whole certain amount of unwritten rules that are in sports, and don't run it up and don't show up your team. But look, you get what you give, and they had no problem doing that last year. I think last year, it wasn't just that they were high-fiving and all excited. There was a moment late in the game similar, and Mikal Bridges dunked it. Now, he didn't go all windmill on it, but he dunked it. And you also got to consider the source, too. Zion's played, what, like 100 out of damn near 300 possible games so far in his career?
Yeah. He missed quite a bit of time.
Like, well, I mean, the numbers aren't exact, but it's close to that. And he catches a lot of flack for that. Rightfully so, I get it. But also, you hurt. That's what it is. And he gets a chance to. His team's winning right now. Like, also, you gotta think of what that does to your mental when you're supposed to be the franchise, and you sitting out, and then also. Not only you sitting out, they're making trades, they're making moves, and now the team balling even without you. I think we made a couple of conversations in here. We've already talked about how, with them or not, pretty much the sentiment now always about that team is, man, imagine when they get Zion back, how good they're going to be. Because they're already good. They don't necessarily need them to make runs now. So with all that in mind, and you got a team, like this is the way he could earn it back for his team. You know, like this is the way. Now, some of the vets you saw on the bench, they were like, "Oh, we don't do that." And then he banged, he banged it, and then they were like, yeah, we get it. And I'm sure they'll have some conversations with him, like, "Look, we get it, but at the same time, let's not make enemies everywhere." You know, but with this particular team, nah. Look, Mikal Bridges took the dunk last year. They were up, they were cheering when they beat him, when they eliminated or when they beat him and everything. I got no problem at all with this. None at all. My man got a lot riding just on what's going on with him right now, and he felt the energy of this. Like, yo, now we win it, and I'm in the game.
So in 3 years so far,
Yeah,
counting the last two in this one, he's played in 107 games.
Yeah. The only reason why I knew we were close to that number is because I remember recently there was the they talked about his first, like, his 100th game. I knew his 100th game was recently. And I know
for the first year.
I know when he got drafted too. So
61 last year, and he's played 22 so far this year.
Good. I mean, hopefully
he got his weight under control now.
Yeah, we got to keep him on the court. He's a great talent. It's gonna be fun to watch his career. Like, he's a bully when he's in there, man. This dude could get. He was averaging like 28 without no jumpers last year, like when he was on the court.
Yeah,
he was averaging like 28 with no jumpers. That's wild. Like,
it's all postal plays.
Yeah, if he ever gets a 3-ball down, man, it's dangerous.
Yeah, man, I don't feel no harm, no foul on this either, man. I never, ever liked when somebody says, "Hey, well, you can't do that because the game's over, the game's out of reach." Nah, the game ain't over till it hits 0-0-0. And Zion said himself, he shouldn't have done it. But last year he was sitting on that bench and his brothers were getting beaten by Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Last year. So, you circle that game when you come back, and people talked about Zion's, love and passion for New Orleans and the basketball team. So as you said, Will, you got to check points. This is a very important year for him. Even though he got signed, it is a very important year for him. New Orleans on the come up. He adds a lot of fuel to the gas tank. They on go right now. They're first in the West. They're playing the team that was number 1 in the West last year.
Yep.
They want the smoke. And then he comes 2 days later and gave him the same thing. No dunk at the end of the game.
Yeah, there you go. No worries.
Phoenix got a bunch of,
I dunk it again.
Devin Booker, they can't double me and pick up Chris Paul every time something happens.
Yeah.
You see when that incident happened with Zion and then he tried to get in Navarro's face?
Yeah.
Like, nobody went at Zion. Nobody. That's the funny thing. Nobody went at Zion. You see Monty going at Monty Williams. Chris Paul going to Monty like, Monty, you can chill. No, this is a grown man's game.
Because that whole team is soft, man.
Right, exactly. Shout out to Mikal Bridges, though, man, who been performing this season. On the offensive side, a lot more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He used to be a defender who could shoot. Now he added some handle and making moves to the cup, and I like what he bringing to the table. He's gonna make himself some money somewhere else because he need to get off that bum ass team.
Right, Bobby. They went after Jose, and it's like, dude, you go after Jose. Jose didn't
go after the smallest dude on the court. Who, hey, gang, but gang, because he got the heart too. You mess with a pit bull, you get your ankles bit up.
For real. Like it's crazy to me. You got guys like Karen Payne, like there's no sportsmanship, and we really don't like that. Karen Payne, wasn't you the guy that when the Suns drew the Lakers out the playoffs a few years back, you had some words for the Lakers bench, and then LeBron had to kind of, let you know about reality? Like, I mean, it's not necessarily a dunk at the end of the game, but all that sportsmanship at a point come out of the way. Karen, you were just like Zion at that point, trying to rejuvenate your career, trying to, get your name back into space. You know what I'm saying? You're on a good team. You got to do the best you can. So I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? You get that spot, man. And Zion, who's been sitting more at the crib than on the basketball court, this is basically like a coming out party for him, man. And his team love it. The fans love it. And I know some of those guys on the Suns love that dunk because I loved it too. And I'm not a fan of both. But at the end of the day, man, chill out. One thing I was saying about Zion is save your legs a little bit, Zion. Save your legs a little bit. You're showing too much juice, baby. Showing too much juice.
Also, Cameron, I don't want to hear nothing from backups.
Don't do him like that.
Nah, for real.
Be a starter, bro.
Guys I don't like in the
Start in
league.
this league before you can talk like that. I don't want to hear that.
Fact. I don't like for real. I do not like one of the guys I do not like in the league is that guy.
He cried, man. They all I don't know how this happens. Sometimes I think it rots from the head, but like this team, they gathered there's a couple who I rock with, but they gathered like a bunch of crybabies on that Suns team, man. Like they all crying. Even though I like Chris Paul and respect him, he cried a lot too. But at least he backed a lot of his up. Booker always crying, like, bro, all y'all do is cry, man. And y'all soft, man.
It's a whole team of front runners.
Yeah, man.
Now it's my time to show my colors.
Yeah, get with it, man.
F the Suns, man.
Oh yeah, I'm with that.
Because they talked all that noise in the playoffs last year.
Smoked in that game 7.
Talked all that noise. That's what they do, though.
Hold on.
That's what they do.
You know what the bad luck in them is? That they ain't disrespect that guy that should not be an owner of the team anymore. He's still rolling. They ain't say nothing to him. They want to say something about Zion after a dunk. Kind of questions where your mind is at. I'm a dig tonight.
Absolutely.
I did rock. Hey, I do like the guy, Sunday 4 guy. I like him. You know what I'm saying? Man, I gotta get together, man. You know what I'm saying? New Hound Dog coming up, and y'all gotta get there with the reality that y'all may be a playoff team, but y'all may not want to run into this team come playoff time.
Look, they're running out of teams that they do want to run into. Because they don't want to run into Dallas again neither. Luka's gonna send them home again.
Send them packing. Nobody, they are regular season champs.
Yeah.
They crumble when they get in the playoffs.
This who that trophy for.
Yeah. And he's an NBA great, but I ain't never really just messed with Chris Paul like that. Because he always seemed like he's a sneaky ass dude. He always seemed like he's a front runner.
Yeah.
And that's because he's a player, but everybody already said that if and when Silver steps down, don't be surprised if Chris Paul becomes the commissioner.
I won't be surprised if anybody that LeBron regime, LeBron family tree, anybody in that course tries for that position.
Right.
I will not be surprised. I'm not saying they will get it, but best believe, which shocks me, you know what I'm saying? Because the amount of, and this is outside the box too, black hires that the NBA has made in the last decade, you know what I'm saying? We see the turn and the change. So like you said, going up the top 2, I wouldn't even be surprised. You're seeing the guys on top, minorities getting jobs right now. You know what I'm saying? You got Alex Rodriguez, securing a job with Minnesota, and Alonzo and the likes, seen Jigga do it, seen guys like Usher. Drake's not owner or anything, but, he's an ambassador. That holds real well in Canada. You know what I'm saying? They're going to pay you anyhow. It's a lot of, things going on up there in the NBA. That would be a twist and turn if somebody, that was a former player of the game or somebody in the, I don't even know what to call it, nationality trend or anybody that's hip with the gang or the group, they get a job that way, man. That speaks levels.
I can see that. Next story. So I'm trying to think who's that got into with a fan early in the season. It was Draymond then, wasn't it?
It was Draymond last week. Draymond got into it last week with a fan.
Huh?
He got into it last week with a fan.
I know what I think it was a Mavs fan, and he ended up matching the whatever Draymond got fined for. He matched them as far as the donations to a charity of his choice. Said it was all in good sports, but he got into it again with a fan, and this time the fan got ejected. But he got ejected because he was threatening his life when the Warriors played the Bucks. This is when fandom becomes too much. These are the type of fans I don't like to have sports conversations with. They get too emotional. They get out of their mind and they can't think clearly. I don't discuss sports with people like that. Generally speaking, I don't even talk to people like that. I try to avoid them.
Yeah, exactly.
So how y'all feeling about this?
Man, that ticket only affords you so much, man. You got to chill out. You got every right to boo. Even good jokes, even good good lines. I mean, keep it clean as possible. Swear, I don't got a problem with swearing and stuff like that. Oh, that's fine. But you don't threaten people's life. You don't threaten people's family. You don't come at people's family. Keep it above those main things, and you should be good. Like, I don't know why it ever gets that far. It's obvious. You ain't got a lot going on anywhere else, and this is all you got. So you go a little too far, or you just crazy. You know what? Some people are just playing crazy. You can't brain scan everybody. You can't evaluate everybody who gets a ticket. So you're gonna have some stuff like this, but there's no place for it. Hopefully they'll be ejected and we won't see them again. This doesn't seem like one of those cases where Rusty's overreacting with some fan, and this is too far. You can only say so much, and then now Draymond on this got to realize he brings some of this on him too, though. You know, that don't mean he deserves to be threatened, but
right
when you interact,
he talks a lot of smoke.
Yeah, when you talk that smoke, when you interact that much, and also when your team falls off after being great and then comes back, wins again, and then you go talking even crazier, and you knock out one of your teammates, and then your team ain't doing so well this year, not as well as they could be doing. I mean, you bring some of that on, it's gonna happen. So, that don't mean he deserved to be threatened his life or nothing like that. So,
let me ask you this: does Draymond get traded this year?
Oh, I've been saying this for the last couple of years, and obviously I've been wrong because he's still here. But
last year of his contract,
yeah, some teams should want some expiring money. He's just not the same, man. And before the number one thing that you would say is, yeah, but this team don't play the same without him. Well, they're not playing the same with him either right now.
Right.
Last time I checked, they was 11th in the West. Maybe they moved up or down. I'm not sure, but last time I checked, they was 11th in the West. I mean, who would take him though? That's the problem.
The problem is, man, he's not going to get traded this season.
Yeah, probably.
Going in the season, going to the regular season, going to the next regular season. Let him go to the free agent market and see what his value is really worth. And I think he deserves that. I think he earned that. I mean, for you to trade him in the aspect would just be letting – you've described Draymond so much as a guy that's built this legacy. I think you let somebody like that walk on their own. A lot of teams don't get that grace. A lot of players don't get that grace. But I feel like the Warriors – and we talked about this weeks ago with the core, the young core that's not producing as of yet. It would be easy to go trade Draymond, and let him go. But due to that not going on, I feel like he'll be a Warrior the rest of the year. He'll explore the free agent market in the offseason, and he'll get whatever he's worth.
I stand corrected. He got one more year after this.
He got one more year. I mean, I can see him at some point, maybe in the offseason trying to get something for him, because then you'll give time for these young guys to keep stepping it up. But ultimately, that's what it comes to. If these guys are performing right now to a point where the Warriors are like, we'll ship them. But back to them, this altercation with the fan. We all know there's no real consequences for these fans yapping and dapping. Nowadays, with alert from NBA players and things of that nature, fans do get kicked out the game. They don't get arrested enough for NBC for the night. A lot of these NBA players aren't gonna bump into any of these hecklers that are saying anything in the games. But that doesn't mean it's not a safety issue, especially nowadays where everything's a safety issue. You got to watch what you say, you got to watch what you do, and all this stuff. That doesn't give the fan no right to threaten anybody. We grew up as people that played sports, people that grew and had love for the passion of sports. So no one mind what the hecklers and fans say. They paying to watch you play at the end of the day. So don't say anything wrong. And just with everything nowadays, and it goes to Twitter and all that, you're looking to see what people say about somebody, looking to see what people say about you. you know, and unlike back in the days, you really take some of this to heart. And a lot of these people need to realize, hecklers, I mean, that, you know, all because they're athletes and superstars and all that, they're human too.
Mm-hmm.
All human.
At the end of the day.
So, you know what I'm saying? So now we go to a point where now Draymond is, you know, have to deal with Draymond, have to tell the referee what he said, and the referee agreeing with him, you know, without even hearing what the guy said, you know. That's a conspiracy theory. Wouldn't even put that in there because I believe that Draymond's going to, you know what I'm saying? Draymond just picked up that $25,000 fine last week. You don't think he was trying to, you know, reach something, even though the guy's not going to get fined. He's not a player, but at the end of the day, hey, I'm not even going to do it again. I'm not even going to cost myself another 25. I'm going to just tell the referee what he said, and let's see what happens.
Fair enough. We're going to monitor this, see how it does. I definitely agree that there should be stiffer consequences if proven. You know, fans who are not behaving properly. I remember hearing stories back in the day how ruthless the fans in Salt Lake City were.
We're fans.
Not surprised.
Fans are ruthless, man. Fans
not the Mormons.
Fans are ruthless, man. I'm telling you that right now. Fans are ruthless. You don't. You're not going to get a church, you know what I'm saying, going to these games. You're not. Especially in this day and age, you're definitely not.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Chris. Hope you're feeling better, brother.
Yeah, man. Your Hawks knocked up.
Says the Hawks getting killed by the Magic.
Yep, they get turned upside down right now, man, over in Orlando right now.
That's because John Collins went out again.
John, I mean that franchise, they just go into what they did a couple years ago. You know, a couple years ago it was mentioned that John Collins was going to get traded. Trae Young was having beef with the coach. You know, things of that nature. Now you go back 2 years now. John Collins wanted to be traded. Trae Young. This is a lot of things that go on. You have a great franchise here, a franchise that you guys can turn around. But yet you're doing things, and you're supposed to be the OGs to these young guys coming in. You got a lot of young talent.
Didn't they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago?
They made it to the Eastern Finals 2 years ago, and things to build on that. And last year was a stump. We kind of expected it
downhill ever since,
you know, but not according downhill. We didn't expect you to stay in the middle of the crop in the Eastern Conference. But it seems that you guys can't even stay there.
No, they add to that roster every year and get worse somehow. I don't know what. I don't even know how they do that. Like maybe they should let the guys they need to. It's got to be coaching, and then from there you gotta go to your lead player. You got to see what's wrong with Trae. I changed the coach up, and if that don't work, you got to start looking for places to put Trae that isn't in Atlanta.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
And I'm a big Trae fan, but it's just it ain't working.
Chris said he agrees. Appreciate you, fam. Y'all ready for a first break for the night, gentlemen?
Yeah, we ready.
We can do that.
All right, man. So we gonna hit this quick commercial break, pay a couple of bills real fast. Like we be back by 15-20. Hold on to your butts.
We gonna be all right.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Hey guys, it's your girl Tamara Moore, former WNBA guard and current head coach at Mesabi Range College. I want to give a big shout out to STWF Media, the big brand, for showing love and always being about those good sports. Make sure you guys show them love. You and your community can join them every week to talk about sports. Shouts out to them and make sure you check them out.
Yes, sir. Back up in this bad boy. Let's see, man. So I think it's probably maybe about 2 weeks ago, maybe. Y'all were having a conversation about Cade Cunningham possibly being trade bait.
Yeah, it was a weird hypothetical for me. And now it's looking a little less weird, but still weird.
So the former number one overall pick from the 2021 draft is having season-ending injury. season-ending surgery. Say that fast 3 times.
Yeah.
Surgery.
on his left shin. So, first of all, do you think it was headed towards that direction for him potentially being traded? And secondly, do you think that this would affect him going forward from a performance standpoint? And lastly, will Detroit go ahead and go into full tank mode?
I think Detroit was always in full tank mode. Maybe they should have been anyway. I think it's gonna hurt him in terms of being able to move him. I think teams are gonna want to see that he's okay before they buy that house, you know. But I also saw a little story about the Magic want a all-star point guard, which tells me if they're willing to make some moves and bid for an all-star point guard, that I don't think they're looking for that top pick to get VW. I don't think they care about that no more. I think they found their big and they're happy with that. And with that being said, that could be an interesting connection with those two. Maybe you get Cade Cunningham for that first pick, you know. But yeah, it's I think Cade will be okay too. His game isn't really based off of explosion. He's a 6'7" point guard who can play the two. He's kind of a jack of all trade, master of none, and his game isn't predicated on explosion. So I think he'll be all right. I don't know how bad that injury is. Obviously, the surgery for it is going to end the season, so it's bad enough. But
then now since November 9th with the injury.
Yeah. So
it's announced that he was getting
so they tried to monitor it.
Right, they try to monitor and see if he can just come back from it, and clearly no. So, but that tells me the fact that it was even a possibility that maybe he could come back without the surgery. It kind of tells me it's not a crazy injury. Like, I don't think that's career threatening at all. I would hope, yeah, exactly. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, definitely prayers for Louisiana.
Praise.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. I mean, this is another one of the situations where interesting to monitor moving forward.
19.
It's been so. Say again, too.
19.9, 6.2, and 6 assists.
Yeah, he can ball, man. He can go.
Oh, he can hoop, man. Go ahead, coach.
Now I was going to ask, when was the last time Detroit was actually a I wouldn't say a title contender, but
even relevant,
a decent team. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was back when Billups was there, mostly, wasn't it?
They last made the playoffs in 2019, but overall and all that, they've stunk for a long time. Now
they made it at 19. Who was on that roster? That is interesting. I can't even remember.
They lost to the Bucks 0-4. We're about to see what the roster is right now. Hold on, I got you, Will. We're going to look at that roster right now.
Draymond Green, Blake Griffin, Langston Galloway, Bruce Brown Jr.
They had Tim Frazier, Langston Galloway, Blake Griffin.
Reggie Jackson was there.
Reggie Jackson.
That's Reggie. That was one of Reggie's coming out parties where he started balling.
They had Derrick Rose too.
Thon the Maker.
Oh, Rose was there. Thon. Man, that team was a bunch of misfits, huh?
Yeah, man. And I talk about, man.
That's the East, man. That's the East. That's the East for you. That bottom team in the East, you never know what you'll get out of that team.
So they made it one
time. A bunch of misfits. Oh, man.
I think I remember now. It was like a show-me team.
Since the 2009-2010 season, so we'll put round that off around 11 years. They made the playoffs twice.
Wow.
This team, when I talk about, NBA talked about a long time ago, shortening, teams in the league, disbanding teams. I'm sorry, but
delegation.
We talk about the Lions, and how they sleep as a franchise, but the Lions are playing good this year. Maybe we need to start talking about the Pistons because this is just straight up trash right here in this organization. Like, we don't know what the heck they want to do. They're always in the draft. They're always in the top 5 pick. It's not the pick's fault. It's not anybody else's fault. This is a general organizational thing right now. They don't know what they want to do.
They're robbing people, man.
They're robbing people. They're robbing the fans. They're robbing the community. They're robbing the city of Detroit. Making those bad boy championships look like, dinosaur bones. At the end of the day, like, it's sad to see. Sad to see. It goes down from signing free agents. You can name them: Blake Griffin, Josh Smith. You can name a bunch of players over the last 5 years who they went to. And it's tough. It's tough.
Nobody want to go drink that Flint water.
We've seen every team in the Eastern Conference over that span somewhat try to improve their team. Rather they fall now or bad now, we've seen it. The only team probably will say, okay, probably not, is the Magic. But they've shown some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when it was time to get rid of those pieces, like, Vujicic, they got rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully Orlando learns from this too. You know what I'm saying? Because this is something you don't want to be. You have a bunch of young talent, great talent right now. Please see who you want and get rid of people. Because at the end of the day, there's some people on that bench that, don't even play. And they need to prove somewhere else, man. Everybody's stuck. You're stuck with a bunch of guys who you think could have been. Kalia Hayes is still over there. I'm sitting here like, it's sad to me. That Detroit.
So the last made the playoffs in 2015?
No, he said 19.
And then 2015 was that. And
before that, okay.
In the last 12 years, they made 2 playoff appearances.
Yeah, I mean, I never blame a team who can't make noise in free agency because it's not always easy. Like, it's based on who you already have on the team and coaching and organization and the city. And no one's running to Detroit right now. It's one of the problems that Boston has where, like, yeah, let's go sign up for, like, the worst weather in the state for in 5 months of the year. Like, don't nobody want to do that. So, yeah, it's rough. I don't know. Yeah, I think they drafted a couple players well recently. I like Cade. I love Jaden Ivey. The kid's the truth. I think he's going to be a real problem in this league.
When did Joe Dumars leave the front office there?
That's a good question.
You said when did he leave?
Mm-hmm.
That's a Coach Lee usually has that answer already question.
The reason why I was asking, I would think a lot of it has to do just the inept ability of the front office. Because I was just looking. The last time they made the playoffs, we say was 14-15 or something like that. Oh no, that was one of the 2 times they made it. Their record since 14 and 15 were 263 and 396.
Yep, he left the franchise in 2014.
There you
so
go.
Basically, they had a string of Joe Dumars still. People get mad at me when they talk about Aaron Rodgers, NFL fact, and that was Brett Favre's team, so I give him a half a title. People laugh at me with that. That's just reality of stuff, man. When you formally don't have this guy's pieces no more, what are you gonna do now? You can have all the good stats. There's one player on the Pistons that's gonna have good stats. In the NFL, you're gonna have obviously he's the best QB. But at the end of the day, dude, come on, man. The Pistons. This is terrible, man. This is terrible that you can't bounce back. There's a lot of franchises that you're like, they will never bounce back ever in their lives. But I know the diehard basketball fans, the old school basketball fans is like, damn, man, Detroit's bad. When they mention it, old people probably ask like, yo, what is Detroit good? And we're like, nah. Yeah, man. YouTube the 80s, man, because that's as much as you're gonna get from the Pistons being good in all Grant Hill, or you can check out the 04 through 09 teams that dominate the Eastern Conference.
Right.
You know why I never buy that Aaron Rodgers half a championship line? You want to know why I never buy that?
Wow.
Did Brett win the year before he left?
Did Brett win the year before he left?
Yeah.
I mean, I call it a half title, man, because they put.
Hey, don't want to answer. I'm saying, did Brett win before he left?
Brett didn't win.
All right, so he didn't win with that team, and then Aaron went on and won. So It ain't no half nothing, man.
It's a half chip. It's a half chip.
I knew I wasn't gonna change your mind. I just wanted you to
Yeah,
hear that
so,
argument.
no, I agree with you though in all sense, man. You know what I'm saying? You go out there, you play hard, you're a replacement QB. That's like saying, hey, though Tom Brady got what, 7 of them?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't say he got 6.5. We
No,
don't say he got 6.5.
Ain't none of those Bledsoe's rings. If anything, his defense rings. But nah, yeah, Detroit. I want Detroit to be better. Hopefully, with look, I don't know if he feels the pressure, but I'm feeling it for him. I think the weight of a whole city's on Jaden Ivey's back right now because I think that's who they should build around, and I think he's worth it. I think he's going to be a monster. He's already really good, and if you put the right pieces around him, I could see them really becoming a legitimate squad. But again, like you guys said, it's front office. We're going to have to see what happens with that.
Agreed. Fair enough.
Yeah. All of our stories tonight end up with, well, I guess we'll see.
We're going to have to. We should be saying, well, hope things aren't the same next
year. Yeah. You know.
Worst team in the Eastern Conference.
They're not good.
They're not good at all. Well, the next up we have, before we get into our power rankings, NBA MVP odds, curveball. So I was looking at the odds. These are as of 2 days ago. Who do y'all think is in first place right now?
Oh, my guy took over. I mean, the guy that I chose all year I thought Luka was going to run away with this year, and I actually I had a significant debate before the season started with, like the first week the season started, with a whole room full of my Celtics fans, and against my guy because I didn't believe he'd be able to overcome the fact that he playing with Jalen, and I didn't believe that he'd be able to overcome the fact that like it's a good team and everything as it is. But yeah, man, I'm pretty sure Tatum should be number 1 right now.
He is number 1 at a plus 250. Giannis is number 2 at a plus 300.
Mm-hmm.
And Luka is 3rd at a plus 350. So who do you think is going to end up winning it?
Fair enough. I mean, if you had to rate December, you know, you can use the team's best record emphasis. You know, as you know, I think all voters would like in that aspect. You know, it's the way the old school brain goes. So yeah, Tatum. If it was given out today, Tatum would get the honors of hoisting the Michael Jordan MVP trophy, which was in news yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him on that. So I mean, overall, Celtics playing great this season. You know, he's coming out with an intensity, you know, that people may have thought that he was missing out in the finals. You know, he was dealing with his own things, dogs or not, if he wasn't. But this year, you know, you always got, time to grow. You know, thing you say is don't let it hound you. Don't let it stay in your mind what happened last year. It happened. A lot of players, a lot of teams don't get to where y'all got to last year. And I'll be first to say, I joke. I say, hey, they still chasing 08 dreams. Dreams was made in 05, though. I always gonna say that. But in order for y'all to succeed, you got to throw that old stuff away and get into the new. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to do. And you're starting good. You're starting great this season. Great record. Keep it going. Got Biggs that's not there. Robert Williams, not there yet. He can play anytime. He's for form. In terms of the other guys, Giannis is always going to be up there. Really there. And I've said this as well before the season started. Those international guys are going to be top there. I would hope for an American to win the MVP this season. I would hope so.
I think Tatum.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think Tatum got it locked up for now, mainly because it's not even just the record, which was my original case when we had this debate before, was the best player on the best team, but also it's not like his numbers are way far off from what Luka's doing, which is everyone thought what was going to happen. Like everyone thought like this is going to be the race, Luka versus Tatum with Giannis hanging around, but Luka will have the numbers, Tatum will have the record. Tatum got the record and his numbers. I mean, Luka's numbers, I think, are overall better, but Tatum's are not far behind. The kid is going bananas this year, man. It's crazy what he's doing. And he's hitting clutch shots. He cleaned up some of his efficiency issues. His passing's getting better because they're playing him in lineups with more shooters at times with the bench. Yeah, and also he's gonna have the advantage of having a scandal start the season that they're overcoming.
Yep, and that's how you do it. That's what good basketball teams do.
Sympathy vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. That's what they do, and it comes like that because your whole team could have dread off the season just like this.
Mm-hmm.
It will be a playoff team regardless of the coaching situation. You know, we all can agree on that. But
yeah, but number one seed, like all year, like yeah,
your
they're
first
about to-
players. We expect
about to-
Jaylen Brown to come out and perform.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum was the guy that we kind of had the red light on. Like, this is where you overcome. You're not the coach, but this is where you kind of play the coach, the best player, and
The leader.
make it work.
Right.
They're about to go wire to wire.
What if I told y'all, looking at the nerd stats,
Mm-hmm.
neither one of them are favored to win it.
Nerd stats say who? Giannis?
Joker.
Always. Joker goes nuts, man. That dude's numbers are ridiculous. His advance.
They say he got a 30. They're basing it off of 100%
Mhm.
amongst the top 10 people.
Yeah,
He's got a 30.2% chance.
Nah,
He got a big piece of that pie, huh?
He did his due diligence the last few years. He did his due diligence, but I don't think it'll go to him this year. Shout out
He's
to
almost averaging a triple-double right now.
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying. It's ridiculous.
he's always averaging a triple-double right now, but we see guys that do that, and I feel like the MVP award, yeah, you know, people appreciate Jordan getting it so many years, you know, and this and that, but I like when it kind of flip-flops himself, you know what I'm saying? It gives the league some parity, you know what I'm saying? Makes it some belief, you know. Joker won it 2 straight years. Is he good enough to win it 3 times in a row? Absolutely. He is great to do that. The stats are never going to go away. He can average a triple-double for the rest of his career. But we've seen him with 2. What are you proving to your league overall, giving him a 3rd one? You're not proving anything. A guy that's fought through the mud. And we can go from personal story to basketball story. We know Jason Tatum's personal story a lot more than others. You got his son at the game every night. You know what I'm saying? This guy's working hard, competing, and over here, he's got himself to this point, man. Keep it rocking, man. Don't let nothing go by. You keep doing what you're doing, bro. Same to the rest of the guys, MVP voting. Look, all of them guys are all ball hard. No disrespect to Jokic, but
Yeah.
I don't see 3P.
I think there's definitely merit to the award fatigue with giving the same guy the award.
Yeah.
Too much. People get bored with it. Like, because that's why
LeBron didn't get as many as he got.
Right. And there's the same reason why Kobe never really got one. There's other reasons with that. Like, not a lot of people don't.
They're doing what people expect.
Nah, yeah.
Kobe got robbed. Kobe got robbed.
I'm gonna say this: the Denver, Colorado scandal with Kobe kind of
hurt.
edged the line.
Because that was right when he was at his best. He was at his best, and he could have been winning them, and you couldn't give it to him.
05 season, the MVP was his. Flat line. The year Nash won it the first time, it was his.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, the second time Nash won it, it was his.
Yeah.
But I think to myself, and I always thought to myself, like, why Kobe had that more MVPs? And that's my fair play. And I'm like, and then I looked at my mind, I'm like, you gotta be realistic with stuff too. That scandal, even if it went right or wrong on his side, at the end of the day, the league's gonna hold that against you. You still have the talent. The league can't hide you. The league's gonna sell the hell out of you. They don't gotta give you no trophy. But Kobe knew the prize to go get that championship.
I love that Kyrie said it to Nash too. He was like, look, some of Kobe's trophies at Nash's house. That's brutal, yo. That's your coach. Like, Nash is a proud dude, proud Canadian dude, like proud baller. And to have Kyrie say that to him like that was rough, man.
No respect.
Yeah. But I like that he said it though. Kobe was his man. Like, that was his guy. So I respect it.
Yep.
But yeah, I hope my guy Tatum bring home the trophy.
Yeah, the young man's balling his ass off, man.
Boston Celtics.
Boston would like to see him to beat.
Bring that trophy back to the Bean. Even though it got a new name now.
Kevin Garnett was the last one to hoist it, right? 07, 08?
Nah, not an MVP trophy.
Yeah. The defensive player of the year?
Yeah, I think he got DPOY,
yeah. Kobe got the MVP of the year that y'all beat us in the finals. So he got the player of the year.
Last time there was an MVP award was Bird, probably. Bird.
So, like I said,
bring it home.
Emotion, man. You know what I'm saying? Stay the green. Get your team back right. The team to win. And, one guy, old job told me, he said, if the Celtics would have won last year, it just would have been a strength for multiple titles. I mean, they still have a chance to do that, but they didn't win last year. But keep that same energy team-wise and get to that, man. Hey, people are probably going to say you can't get it back. A lot of people say people can't get back. You have the mentality to do it, man.
I think it was Bird. 85, 86 season?
Yep.
85.
Damn.
Pierce never won one. He was too busy playing in a league that was filled with other killers too, who was winning it. And that was the only other player who had a shot.
And IT had some votes. Did IT have some votes while he was a Celtic?
IT, he finished, I think, 4th one year. That was the year that he led the league in scoring. We actually, out of nowhere, I think we had the best record in the East, and I think we went to the Eastern Conference Finals with him. Going nuts. He was averaging 28 a game. Little IT4, my height.
So look at that. All these opportunities, chances still going around for this team, man. Through all the extra stuff, what I'm saying?
We played through a rebuild. Like after Pierce and them, we played legitimate contender, like not championship contender ball, but playoff contention ball. We played through a rebuild, and now that we're seeing the fruits of that labor, this is the fruits of that trade. That highway robbery of the Nets, this is the fruits of that trade right now.
Danny Ainge said, man, hey.
That was a heist. That was a stick up.
Danny Ainge said, y'all may not like me no more, man, but if y'all do win one, I'm probably going to be the first one y'all call on the telephone and say thank you.
They're going to have to. He built the squad.
Real talk.
This the team that Ainge built.
Still, yeah, it is, isn't it?
It is.
Look, the heart of it, like everyone, like is Marcus Smart, Jalen, Jason Tatum. I mean, Horford, he brought Brad brought back, so that's a Brad move to bring him back. But who? I'm pretty sure he drafted Grant too. Grant Williams.
Yeah, he did.
Robert Williams, he drafted.
Robert Williams, yep.
Bro, that's the whole team. I mean,
everything got 2 teams in the NBA. Highway robbery.
The only thing that Brad's really done is he kind of heisted himself on that Derek White move. Don't get me wrong, I like Derek White, but he heisted himself. And the Brogdon move is proven to be a great move. And then other than that, I mean, he brought Al back, and that was the other one. That's basically what Brad's done. The rest of this team is
he brought back. He got back Noah Vonleh.
Noah, yeah. No, I mean, hey, look. Oh, and then
shout to that, man. Shout to the guy. I always like when a team in your state has somebody from your state.
Yeah, and then Blake, and then I forgot Noah was from the Massachusetts. He's from Mass, right?
He's from Mass.
Yeah. And then Blake, and he brought back, and he got Blake to come and take a bunch of charges, which I like, but.
Blake was at a highlight reel the other night.
He had a couple of dunks, right? Yeah, he has a couple of dunks. Took some charges. He was balling. Hit a 3, hit 2 threes.
They're gonna need him in playoff time, man. It's a guy.
Oh, he's gonna be huge.
And possession of one in the game. And mid range. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be kind of situation where Herman Brown can kind of ease up. Depending on how Blake plays the rest of the season. But if he's there.
He's gonna be vital. He's gonna be vital in terms of insurance for Al Horford and Robert Williams because they both get hurt. Right. So we're gonna need some kind of big who can do something like play some of those roles, like help pass, help rebound, help defend, and he can do all those things now.
There's a guy too. I'm gonna be real. There's a guy leaning around. I don't think he's signed, but if anything in regards to Robert Williams or Horford, what happened to them? Hassan Whiteside. I don't think he's signed.
Yeah, really? Hassan's a weird player. Yeah,
he's a weird player, but it would like the deficiency, the Celtics rebounding, it would help him. It's never too bad to have enough, big men for
right. I wouldn't hate it. I just, I'd be very cautious on mixing him up into this roster with he got a weird temperament. But like, yeah, I mean, if there's a place where we needed it and we needed the insurance, I wouldn't mind that.
or Dwight Howard comes back from China, man, and says, "Hey, I balled good enough, to get an NBA contract." So
yeah, I'm still shocked he's not on a roster right now.
NBA don't want to pay him for all those baby mamas he got.
Who is that?
Dwight Howard.
Dwight, D12.
Oh yeah.
Surprised he's not on a roster. He could do everything he was last seen doing. He can still do that.
And Bird won it 3 years in a row.
Was he the last one to win it 3 years in a row? Or
Well, the last one to win it 3 years in a row?
Yeah.
No.
Also, MJ had 3 in a row.
Let me see. No, MJ had it. He did it 2 in a row. He did it 2 in a row twice.
Yeah, that sounds,
that
sounds like MJ.
Magic did it twice in a row.
It definitely is Larry Bird.
I think it is Bird, the last one to win the 3 in a row.
Birdman, the living legend.
Living legend Larry, man. Shout out to Larry, man. Never will be rewritten.
I'd be dying when people think like he couldn't play in this era. He'd be busting people's ass right now.
Dude, if you playing against the top elite like that, I don't give a hell what you're saying to me. I don't care whatever you did, 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yep, here they come bust ass right now.
Put some respect on that man's name.
100%.
His name, and especially the minorities. Like, put some respect on that man's name. He killed the best minorities that they had at that time. When the NBA was at a boom.
He's physical. And he helped save the league.
And he could have been like be real, he could have been, a scary white boy and let the guys, let the brothers on his team, shine. Hell no, this is my city. Larry said, this is my city. I'm gonna win. This is not only my city. I'm gonna win championships. I'm gonna win MVPs. Have my team on top, and back is gonna be the reason why I go out. Not no NBA player. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Larry Legend.
My man got bored one game and shot mostly lefty. Still
scored like 40 something.
Yeah.
So Bird, Wilt, Russell, only ones to win it 3 times in a row.
It's so crazy now. It's so crazy how the thing that hasn't changed in life is that when a white boy can play, he get that love, he get that respect.
Oh yeah.
It's like his brand. No, and it's like, okay, well,
because it's like one a decade.
It's like white people can play basketball. White people can do anything they want. Black people, everybody can do anything they want. But it's always still exciting to people when there's a.
Look at Tyler here. Look at Tyler Hero got a bag just because he could do a little more than just shoot.
Meanwhile, Duncan Robinson, man.
Duncan Robinson got crazy. Like he robbed the Heat.
Robbed the Heat, crazy.
Well, that hits this last break for tonight, and we're gonna come and hit you over here with them power rankings. I know y'all gonna be going at it. We'll be back in about 15-20. Y'all hold on to your butts.
What's up, world? Kyrie Robinson, man. New Orleans Saints veteran. Hey, man, make sure you guys go check out my guy, man, STWF, the media, man. Check them guys out. Y'all want to get sports talks with players, with fans, anything like that, man, go check them guys out, man. That's the place to be if you want to talk sports. Who that nation?
What up?
Every time I hear that, I think of Will. Hey, real quick before we get into power rankings.
Yeah.
We were talking about a boy earlier today. Draymond got ejected tonight.
Draymond got ejected tonight. So that just, what's crazy is that just makes, like, honestly what happened yesterday, like
it's like he wants out. It's like he wants out now, though. It seemed like
he just misbehaving now.
Does he care about basketball anymore?
No, I mean, what's he got left to prove?
I think he wants a change of scenery.
Yeah. Because you know why? He's no longer getting credit as being one of the main reasons they are who they are.
Because he was there when, the Splash Brothers was doing their thing.
Yeah.
So he was kind of seen as a third wheel.
And
then when they was in and out, they tanked. So he got kind of blamed for them not performing.
Yep.
And then last year, all the newly acquired players and the young studs came in.
Yeah.
He was the odd man out again.
and they realized, like, you know what? As much as we all wanted to say that, like, Draymond's ability to pass and do what he does is what makes this team go, it turns out, it's just Steph. It's just Steph being able to shoot from 40 feet away that changes everything. And then we realize they also need Klay to do what Klay does in terms of shooting and defending. And it turns out plenty of people could pass to those two if they're on fire.
Right?
Yeah, so me and you can hand off the ball to them dudes and watch them fire threes like that. So, yeah, for real. So yeah, I think he wants out. He also might want, although it is a little weird though, because he's gonna want to finish that contract though. Because he's not gonna get paid like that ever again.
Nah. He's not making. He's damn near $30 million. He's not getting that again.
Them days is over. He's on vet mins for the rest of his career after this one.
So we've got power rankings. Let's look at this bad boy.
Let's get to it.
So, hey man, I'm just gonna throw it out there for y'all. I'm gonna let y'all collab. Tell me what you think on it. Coming in at number 10 with a record of 15-12. They were 14th last week.
Yeah, bounce.
Philadelphia 76ers.
Yep, I see. You know, you got the addition. You got one addition back in James Harden. Maxi's still out for a little while, but that helps out Joel Embiid. You know, who is the lane man in Philly. He's been the man that's been holding down the ship. So yeah, they'll creep up in the rankings. You know, because how their team was. You know, post James injury as it happened so fast, and Maxey, and that's kind of the luck that Philly has, is the injuries and things of that nature. Like, you know, we talked about this before the season started. It's the physicality, not only the physicality, but the health of this basketball team. So we have to monitor the health of this basketball team as the season goes. But I mean, moving up in the rankings is something they should do. They're a good team when constructed.
Yeah, look, I mean, they rose. I think they won a couple games last week that basically justifies them moving up. So yeah, I mean they got a good squad, man. We'll see what happens moving forward. This is another one of those teams where I'm just like, I'm trying to wait and see because they haven't hit their stride really. They're only 15-12. That's not great, but I guess all things considered in the East, it's not bad either. So I'm not really mad at that. That's a good spot for them.
Rumors going around. Joel Embiid was laughing and entertaining news that, you know, the Sixers may want to trade him.
I was just gonna bring that up.
I
saw that yesterday.
For who and what and why? I mean, what?
Be real with you.
That means you building around Maxey. I mean, I love Maxey, but like,
I feel like honestly, in all, be real with you. I mean, I wouldn't say to tank and overload and reload your team because you signed James Harden too. So that's kind of hard to believe that they want to trade Embiid. But and Harden just signed a contract this year. He signed a 1 year.
He signed a 1 year though. I think it's a 1 year, or maybe a 1 year with an option or something like that.
1 year. So now that option depends on Joel Embiid in my eyes.
Yeah,
so,
of course it does.
And that
1 year extension. He got 2 years on it.
Okay,
right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So if that's the case, then hey, you might. If it keeps going like this, where you can't get over the hump in the Eastern Conference, teams like the Bucks, the Celtics, you know, are pounding you, and I'm gonna still keep the Nets in there too because I feel like the Nets are better than Philly. I'm just gonna. You have to at some point chop it up. You have to at some point chop it up, and I wouldn't be mad if they entertain an Embiid trade. They will get a lot of value back for him. Somebody would take him in a heartbeat. Somebody will give up all their royal oats in a heartbeat for Joel.
Yeah. Look. The only way it's a crazy idea. The only way I would do it is if, like, first of all, there's no way I trade Embiid unless it's a draft night trade. This way, this way I know it's that top pick that I want. You know, if they can trade on draft night to whoever gets that number 1 pick, I guess you do that then. But that's wild.
Yeah, I don't see it happening nowhere in the future, man. Because, like I said, they're gonna try to pound you, rolling with Daniel Morey. One thing you can't tell him to do is when he's losing, you can't tell him to stop rolling the dice because he's gonna continue to roll the dice. So,
I'm looking. He's designated to. He can potentially be an unrestricted free agent in 2023. But they have his bird rights. But if they do that, he's going to be making 46, 50, 54, and 58 million.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I'm be real.
Would that be that committed to him?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, they've been, and even if they ain't, at the end of the day, they've been confident in on his side long enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
through the injuries,
and all that. So at the end of the day, if it's a both ways want to party or whatever, you know, then do it on the best terms. Don't turn it into a media scuffle and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Both sides don't deserve it. You know.
There's no way to do this friendly. Let me be clear.
There's a way to do it friendly.
No, there's not, because you're gonna want equal value back, which means you're gutting the team he's going to. There's no way this ends well.
Yep.
Oh no, that's different. I'm talking about in terms of the 76ers and Embiid.
Yeah, but he's gonna be mad at them. He's gonna be mad at them if you gut the team that he's going to. He's gonna be mad. I mean, like,
it all kind of depends on the team he goes to, though. I mean, I don't think Philly's gonna do that. You're messing with Daniel Morey right now. He's gonna be one of the best talkers and you know, saying guys that are gonna, you know,
yeah, he gonna get everything. He gonna get it all. So whoever he get it from, he taking anything from him.
Goodness.
I mean, hey, I'm be real. We just spoke on your Pistons. We spoke on the Pistons, not the Pistons. Sorry, spoke on the Pistons, and they have a lot of counterparts. Man, you can pitch your well over there, man. Matching with Ivy. You know what I'm saying? Matching with those young guys over there. They're going to get another top 5 next year. I don't know.
It's down more. He going to want Ivy.
Right.
But he might do it for Cade and some pieces and some picks. And then if that's the case, that's going to be interesting. Also, if you're Morey, you didn't get to where you got by trading guys Embiid's level into your draft class. I mean into your conference. So you got to ship him to the West if you move him.
That's what I'm saying. Like a team that
you got to move him to the West.
Yeah, right. Definitely.
To the Kings for Sabonis or something. I don't know.
Hold on. Trade Embiid. Oh, man, listen.
It's getting
listen.
No matter what you think of, it's going to be wild.
Hold on. If Golden State's basketball team was legit right now, like if those young guys got it in right now, I would be them on the phone right now trying to go get Embiid right now. Because they got Embiid. So listen.
The money you got, they're so far in the red into the luxury. Like that's gonna have to be if the Sixers want to move them, they're gonna have to eat that Draymond contract. They're gonna have to eat a year of that.
Eat that.
Only way you can do it. Eat that. Take Wiseman and Kalina. No, they don't. Clay got to retire a Warrior or Steph Curry is gonna jump off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Whoever gets traded for the Warriors with Draymond, because if Draymond gets traded, that's gonna be crazy too.
You take Dre.
You're gonna be mad.
Before he hit Poole, I agree with you. Once he hit Poole, I think
the
whole Bay Area won't mind seeing him go there.
No. I'm talking about whoever gets traded with him. You know, you get those players that, for instance, when Carmelo got traded, Chauncey Billups.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want that.
It would be Wiseman. It'd probably be Wiseman, Kumina, maybe even Moody too. Wiseman, Kumina, Moody, and Draymond. And I think maybe they do that. To future picks.
Yeah.
But all this is crazy. I don't think there's any way you could trade them. I don't know how you do that as a Philly team, or maybe Philly's just tired of them. I don't know. Interesting to see.
Never know. Coming in at number 9 at a record of 16-13. Previous ranking was 8. We got the LA Clippers.
We spent a lot of time on the Sixers. My God.
I know, right?
we was almost done, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, they talked about trading." I'm like, "What? I didn't even hear that. That's nuts." Yeah, the Clippers. Are they up from? What are they up from again?
They're down
they back.
from
They
8.
fell back. Yeah, this is the all time.
But they got Kawhi and Paul George back
for the first time in like ever.
Yeah,
playing together. Do they even know how to play together? They rarely ever do. Yeah. This team is an interesting team. Again, I want to see any of those two guys like play for a while together because this team literally looked pretty solid in the playoffs last year without either of them, right? They both were down, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And you had guys going off, and now that they got John Wall, who actually looks solid, looks like he's back to. He'll never be the Wall he was before again, but it was like a solid, like he can shoot the ball here and like on a somewhat consistent basis. We know he can pass, and we know he can defend. So, yeah, Clippers looking to move upward. Let's see if they can keep everyone healthy.
I'm not gonna even talk about them.
Little bro, right? They're little bro to you.
No, not even that. They're not ranked. Something interesting hit me the other day. They were speaking to Kawhi Leonard after a game. He says he doesn't care about the regular season, which we all know. It's more about the playoffs. So my answers to those are: hopefully you are ready for the playoffs, Kawhi. And hopefully the Clippers are ready for the playoffs. Because when you got your star players speaking like that, since you've been in LA, you have done nothing in terms of getting a banner up there. Yeah, that's pretty interesting to me. So I'm not even going to talk and chatter about where they're ranked because we know as a team, they're not ready right now.
Right.
They can play however they want to play. Things are going to happen.
Fair enough.
I pretty much agree with that. We got to see them. We got to see them in the long run, in the stretch, in the playoffs with their whole team on the court.
Coming in at number 8. What is going on? Coming in. Did y'all hear that?
What was it?
As a commercial came on. It was loud too. But coming in at number 8, the record of 17-12. Previous ranking was 13. 4 wins in a row and 8 of the last 9. The Brooklyn Nets.
Playing the game. Play the game. Don't let nothing else happen. Hopefully that's the ride the season goes. Everything that could happen, happened already. Kyrie, his controversy happened. If he can find something in the archives again to make controversy, then that would be the downfall of the next season. But other than that, right now, being a rejuvenated Ben Simmons, he's starting to feel some love for the game. Though he's keep missing games, but he got somewhat of a passion that we didn't see the last couple years. And KD, you got a horse in KD.
Always.
You can stay around the course of being one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. The question is, in my opinion, are they tough enough to compete with the Bucks and the Celtics? I don't think they are. I think they may be a bigger way from really competing, but I don't feel like with the roster constructed, I don't feel like they are. But they're a team that's always going to be entertaining when you have Kyrie and KD who can light the scoreboard any given night.
Jacques Vaughn's 15-7 as head coach.
Jacques Vaughn actually moved for him, a guy that's going to be respected. You know what I'm saying? Respected in the college ranks, respected in the pro ranks. Solid backup for his career. Somebody that's going to hold the helm down. May not be a permanent job for him, but he's doing a damn well job right now with the roster he has and the problems that's going on over there.
Not to the classic case of no news is good news. Whenever they're not in the news, it's good news. So that's good. Look, a lot more was expected of this team when they put it together. But I think this is the first time since they've all put this together that they're kind of getting to some sense of normalcy of just playing basketball, which is important. That's what they got. Right. That's what they paid to do. I still don't think this team is a championship team. I mean, if certain players in certain places got injured, they could steal one, but it would take a lot of dominoes to fall in their place. So, yeah, like look, they're balling, so they deserve to be up there. 17-2 is a good record. They jumped up from 13. KD's doing KD things as usual. Again, this is a hold on, excuse me. As usual, this is another one of those teams where I'm like, all right, like what happens now is less important. What's gonna happen and what we will watch, that's what's important. What happens later? Will y'all all be healthy when it matters? Will you all be controversy free when it matters? And we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when it gets there. But it's good to see. Like, look, hey, it just shows you how good players, no matter what, can make something happen because they're bouncing back from a lot of nonsense.
Fair enough. Coming in at number 7, a record of 16-12. Previous ranking was number 3. They have lost 5 straight, 6 out of the last 7. The Phoenix Suns.
And these bums out. These Ryan ass bums
coming back.
Devin Booker's dealing with hamstring tightness.
Right. Chris Paul dealing with sleeping with a Kardashian and got Kanye all up in his DMs.
That quick it happens, man.
Yes, sir. Devin Booker dealing with the hamstring issue. That was an issue for him last year, I believe.
Kryptonite, man. It's crazy.
That's never going to go hit tonight. And the guy that they didn't want to sign, but they ultimately signed, he was out for a good crumb of games. So overall, they're just dealing with, reality as a team that's, been there the last few years, but maybe the stumble may be real. You got Chris Paul. He's not getting any younger, running the ship. Year 2, as we just said, hurt, man. It's going to be hard for them to, keep that high octane. If guys are not going to be there, it's going to be difficult. You got a lot of teams in front of you that are real young and hungry and have energy. Guys are not injured.
Yep.
It's going to be tough.
Look, like I've been saying about this team from the beginning of the season, this team got embarrassed last year at the end by your Dallas Mavericks coach. And they're back and they got worse. They didn't get better. So they weren't good enough last year and they got worse roster-wise.
So they messed up the whole thing with Aiden.
Yep.
They matched the, they should have let him go to Indy, but they matched the contract.
Although I don't know what they would have did in replacement, but something had to give.
No, they couldn't. The way it was is that they took him to say, hey, at least we could still be relevant with him. And we'll see what we can do the year after. And I feel like that's why it's Aiden. I feel like it was just, you try to find value with somebody, and you still got that he could, after this year, he can be traded. He can be traded, right? After this year. Because there's no trade clause this first year. So we'll see. We will see in Phoenix. Phoenix dealing with a lot of issues. We talked about a team in the Celtics that was dealing with issues, within the front office. They're dealing with issues in the front office. But not only that, they're dealing with issues with players and all that. It's not a good mix for success.
Yeah, but they ain't pull off a Danny Ice first. Oh, they're going to have to scrap some. They're going to end up scrapping this team real soon.
And the Celtics, nobody wants to play with them, but for some reason, it's a big market and there's money floating around. In Phoenix, mid-major team, there ain't no money floating around for them to do any type of heisting. So if this team,
they got to try to heist with the players they got, but it's going to trigger a rebuild.
Markel Bridges.
Hey, look, a lot of teams take Bridges right now, but yeah, Bridges and Booker, you're going to have to ship them out, build around 8 maybe. Who knows? I'm done talking about the Suns. Y'all can have fun.
Fair enough. Coming in at number 6 at 17-11. Previous ranking was number 5. The Cleveland Cavaliers.
So they're at 6 and they previously was 5. Somebody got hurt, right? I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're fully healthy, but either way, man, look, everybody knows if they listen to the podcast, I love this team. I love everything they got going on. I do think that, the big man, Allen's been out a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know. Look,
You got Donovan Mitchell dealing with issues as well. Kevin Love, you got a couple players over there dealing with issues. They got ways after the 4 weeks.
I'm skeptical about if they can make it work with the 2 bigs. We've talked about that with Minnesota having the 2 bigs now, because this isn't the league that does that anymore. The league now is a center, a space and pace, a center, and then 4 guys who can shoot and defend 4 or 5 positions.
Quick side note.
Yeah,
Minnesota power ranking 21.
They're supposed to be that. They were the Lions of the NBA this year. This team's gonna be good. Like, nope, y'all still who y'all are. I'm not really worried about this team falling back a little bit. They're still top 10. They still got great talent. We will see when they're back to being fully healthy.
They have a good roster. They have a good roster.
Roster's great, man.
Nice young roster, too.
But the way the NBA is constructed, fellas, this team's going to have to find a go-to man.
What's that mean?
They have to, like, Chris LeVert, for instance, has been balling the last 3 games.
You
got Garland, you got Donovan Mitchell. At some point, as the games get bigger, there's going to be a guy that has to be go-to. There's going to possibly have to be a shortening of the roster because they have a lot of players. And you can play with players like that, but I just feel like for them, they have some goods they can distribute if you want to.
I think it's pretty clear who the go-to guy is.
And, I mean, and all in the fact of being a good team this year and all the other years not being a good team, that's the thing I worry about.
Learning how to win.
Learning how to win. And you're going to have to learn to win in those situations. Not just saying that Donovan Mitchell has to be the go-to guy every game, but they're going to hit points where there's going to be somebody that has to. And if Mitchell isn't, he has to trust the next guy. Because he has guys that he can trust now. And Utah, you didn't have no guys you can trust. So if he's not the guy that's the go-to guy, if it's Garland or if it's LeVert, if he stays healthy, or even they want to aside to the big man, which I don't think they're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? They still got Nick Mobley, is going to develop as years come. They are very scary in some terms. They have a great roster, but in terms of the grind and the growth, they can be good during the regular season, but that playoffs, that becomes a different monster.
True that.
Yeah, their go-to guy's Mitchell. Also, he's the guy who's going to teach them about the playoffs, about how to temper themselves and ready up. It don't mean it's going to take the first year. So, also, they're in the East, which means any road to a championship goes through
Boston,
my city. So, it's going to be a struggle for them when it comes that time. But, like I said, I'm not worried about them this year. But in terms of things that I could worry about in the near future, moving forward, depending on how they structure the rest of that bench and how much experience they get in the playoffs, definitely a team that's on my radar as who I have to watch.
Yeah. Between them and New Orleans.
Yeah. The problem with New Orleans is New Orleans for sure. Yeah, New Orleans for sure. And then also I would say those are the younger teams coming up. And then the other teams that I worry about as a Celtics fan are the Bucks and the Warriors, of course, because they already beat us. So that's about it as far as that goes. But I like Cleveland.
Number 5, a record of 16-10. Previous week's ranking was 7. Coming off a fresh Jamal Murray buzzer beat over the Trailblazers, the Denver Nuggets.
They're trying to find their way, man. They're trying to find their way for the guys, who've been hurt the last couple of years to kind of get back in the groove. And Jokic is still being Jokic, so that's always a good sign, He's been carrying the load for so long, and he knows he got to kind of carry the load early in the season to those guys that rejuvenated and Porter and Murray, who's looking, not like himself, but, he's looking a lot better. The defense, for me, is the problem. In the NBA, nobody plays defense.
26th in the league.
Nobody plays defense, but you can score the basketball. You're going to compete. You're going to be in a lot of games, but, that entails for playoffs when the game gets slow and all that, and the guys know that you want to go to Jokic every time. That might be the problem, but overall, they'll be a playoff team this season. I love the coaching of Mike Malone. I love what he does with those guys under the stars. And this is a team that I always said always got some hidden value somewhere. So be on the move for that too. Maybe a move at the deadline. I don't know. We'll see. They're always a team that could potentially use some spark in the trade deadline, but then they don't really want to touch their team. They're kind of weird.
They got a nice core. They got a nice little core.
They're kind of weird to me.
It is a weird team, and that's why, like, I'm happy that they're moving back up, that they're getting back to themselves, and more importantly, that Murray is getting back to himself. Like I've always said about this team, Joker going to be Joker every single night, twice on Sunday or whatever day he needs to go. He's going to be that guy. Unfortunately, when you're always having to be that guy, often the team's destination sort of ends up relying on the guys around you and not you, because you're the constant. The variable is your teammates. So it's good to see Jamal Murray getting back to being who he's supposed to be. I've always said that team will go as far as Jamal Murray's knee will carry them. And if he can get back to that shooting that he was doing when he was in the bubble, because he was coming up. I mean, a couple 50-point games, he was going nuts. So it's just good to see them. Good to see them doing what they're doing. And if he's hitting shots like that again, that means that clutch gene wasn't a fluke. He has it. And I can't wait to see if like I said, I love Murray. One of the quick backstory about Jamal Murray is I wanted to draft him. I'm pretty sure that's the same draft as Marcus Smart. Now, I love Marcus Smart and everything he's given us, but I wanted to draft Jamal Murray instead of Marcus Smart. And because of that, I've always been a big fan. He hasn't disappointed, but obviously we love Smart here and what he does, what he brings to our team. But yeah, Jamal's one of my guys, so I'm glad he's healthy again and doing his thing.
Cool that. Number 4 with a record of 18-9. Previous rank was number 6, the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, with the best backup point guard in the league, Tyus Jones filling in nicely and making some stuff happen while Ja is out. Is he still out?
He's still out, I think, and they're 22-8 in games he's missed.
Yeah, that's never gonna be. I hate when that stat comes up and people act like, well, you know what that means? It's time to trade him. Like, that's never what that means.
He's the heartbeat of that team.
Who Ja, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like he's also the box office of that team. No one goes there if he's not there. No one's going to see Tyus Jones. With all respect to the man, he's a baller. But yeah, good for them, man. And to even move up when your best player, your backcourt goes down.
Right.
Is Bane back?
Nope.
I don't think Bane is back.
I think he'll be back. He'll be back. I think he should be back in the next week or two.
Man, they missing.
That's the story.
They missing Dark Knight and Bane.
The story, man. The stories, injuries, man. This team's not going to survive.
Except
4 guys are going to be hurt, and Ja being hurt is the worst thing. You say we say he's the heartbeat of the team, but how good is your heartbeat if you have high anxiety? And when this guy goes down, it's like, you know, it kind of smooths them when they go 22-8 without him. But like you said, bro, Tyus Jones. I mean, playoff time. If Tyus Jones got to go in the game and win a game for
no, obviously long term, it's not a solution. What I'm saying is though is actually for you to actually even move up in the rankings, in the power rankings, in a week that both of your I would venture to say their 2 best players are off the court. That speaks well for your team in total. Like
so it's well for your team. Absolutely, I enjoy it.
It's not sustainable.
Yes,
it's not. And I wouldn't want to enter a playoff series like this. But yeah, like let's maybe you know, they can let them ride. They can let them heal. They can let them get healthy because it's not really affecting them during the regular season, which is what we always say is who cares about the regular season? Well, there you go. They don't have a lot to care about. They're second in. What are they? Second in the West, I think. Check right quick. They are, they're second in the West right now. 2-game lead in the West, or is it something like that? But yeah, so yeah, man, like I have no problem with that. They're doing good. I hope they get healthy soon. And I'm always worried about Ja because he weighs less than me.
It's so crazy. My team now, I mean, unless the Warriors really shaping the hell up, You know, it looks like it's going to be some crossroad rivalry and really a good story if Zion and Ja play each other in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, it's too early to predict, but Ja definitely better want to be healthy in that time, man, playing against that guy for the throne in South Carolina, I should say. So, you know, leaves a segue when we go from 4 to 3. But I'll let Coach let you know and let us know who the number 3 team is in the power rankings.
A record of 18-9, figures ranking 4. The New Orleans Pelicans.
Nolans.
Pelicans, man. I said they'll be the top 4 seed in the West. I mean, a lot of teams are going to say this team is going to improve, so it's not a major thing. I said
No. It's not major to say that but to say top 4, that was more of a jump than a lot of people were going to make.
We're number 1 right now at this point.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That is something exciting. You see the Saints
absolutely
stinking up the gym. You know what I'm saying? Stinking up the arenas. So now you got to go to Pelican games to get the excitement. Now they look on nights like the best team in the West, but I mean, gathering and being team oriented and being experienced, you know what I'm saying, could be a fall. I'm just predicting this in December. They can shock the world and become a better team and teach us that, you know, they could go through the playoff grind. You know, this year in the West is going to be interesting. There's no fair-cut favorite. There's a lot of interesting stories, and all these teams are going to meet up with all these interesting stories, and it's going to be based on matchups, and that team would be one of the teams in the Western Conference. I feel like in the East, be real, it's going to come down to the 1, 2, or 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. In the West, you got about 6 teams that could probably end up in the finals depending on matchup.
Definitely agree with that. Number 2, with a record of 20-7, stays straight at number 2, the Milwaukee Bucks.
They just keep it rolling, man. Mike Budenholzer's teams, we know the history of their teams in the regular season. They come to ball. They come to hoop. Record of 20-7. 5 of the last 6 games of dubs. Blew off the Golden State Warriors the other night. They still going to add pieces along the way, too. Joe Ingles, who's been hurt all season, got him in the trade. We'll be ready for action. You know, that'll be another guy that can, you know, spread the floor, you know what I'm saying, shoot a little bit. We know he's a little older, and that injury to his ACL is not the best injury to come off, but it adds some depth for Milwaukee, and they'll put him right in there. They're the most experienced team in the Eastern Conference. They have the best coaching in the Eastern Conference.
They scooped somebody?
No.
Oh,
Joe Ingles.
Okay, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I just feel like they're not the best team in the East. They're the best They have the best coaching in the East, and they have the most experience in the East right now. God granted, and those are some things that you need. You know, when you got a Celtics team who's, you know, having a parade in December, you know, to try to stop it. You know, they're
champions, man. So
they're champions, right?
It is what it is. They're champions. Their best player might be the best player in the league.
One thing I'm noticing this year, and it's funny because nobody can shake it. Giannis has been trying to shake it for years, and now it's coming in reverse. All cameras and everything's on him, and been a few little minor incidents this year with him. Not to say that it has affected his game or anything, but I want to see what happens going forward. Because these losses, like now, when they lose, unless they have somebody else injured this season, it's gonna fall. Giannis is gonna start hearing it's Giannis' fault they couldn't overcome. He's gonna start hearing that type of stuff. He hasn't heard that. The media is on their way, Giannis. So keep performing. Keep performing. So I think the media is coming your way, man.
And of course, coming in at number 1. Still number 1 at 22-7, the Boston Celtics.
Yep. Boston Celtics number 1, man. Shout out to the Boston Celtics, man. They're number 1 for a reason. Every night they come in and out the arena, playing as a team, playing as a unit, and getting dubs, man. I can't say nothing negative about them, even if I wanted to, you know, at all. They get Robert Williams back. You should see the record increase. You know, you see people, you know, kind of, you know, get laxed. And he can potentially be on the court this Friday. Now the thing I would say about them, and as I always say, Boston fans know I say this: stop chasing 08 dreams.
Nobody worry about 08.
They made dreams in 05. Stop chasing those 08 dreams.
I keep yipping and yapping about 08. Nobody's worried about 08. Nobody's worried about 08.
You know why I bring up 08? Because it's December. It's December. And y'all partying right now like it's June. I want
Nobody's partying. Nobody's partying. Nobody's partying.
Hold on. They partying, man. They partying. Those a rivalry game last night. It was an exciting game. They over here like, hey, dude, y'all beat the Lakers. Okay, cool. Whatever the case is. Let Anthony Davis get another 2 touches in overtime. We win. But that didn't happen. That was the Celtics, though, man. Number 1 team. Keep it up. Party like this in June. And I'll be a real believer and call you the best team in the league.
Well, we're not worried about nothing. The fact that we're number 1, the only reason we care about being number 1 is because of what happened right before the season, and everybody buried us saying that, oh, their coach is gone, now the whole shit's gonna fall. Like, nah, bro, we good. We cooling. Everybody cooling. The other reason is a lot of people were saying that maybe these two can't get it done together. I've even been one of those people to say that. Looks like that's not really true either. Then everybody said, oh, well, they're gonna be screwed for this season after the coach situation, and because now Robert Williams is hurt all this time. Number 1 record in the East, number 1 record in the league. So we've weathered a few storms. That if it sounds like there's a party, if it seems like the party hats are on, that's all that's about. Because we weathered some storms. That's all. But the truth is, just like your man and all of our men said, job not done.
Job is not done.
Job is not done. And I know you can't even be mad at that because that's the guy right there. That's Kobe Bean. So
job ain't done.
Job not done, bro. We're not worried about none of that.
Keep that energy. It's a long race, man. It's a long race. Definitely, it's amazing though to have the record that you have. To be on the pace that you're on. It's great. It's great to see.
I think you're confusing the party energy. That party energy is we're just happy that y'all suck, the Lakers. Like that. That's all that really is.
No, this is overall energy to the league. It is overall energy to the league.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been saying for a grip that it's not like the Celtics have not been. We're not going to say that they probably was the team gonna hoist the finals trophy, but over the course of the last 5-6 years, they have been in that circle. You know what I'm saying?
We've been to the finals a few times, man.
So if anybody knows what's the party in December, it's you guys. That's all I say about that. That's all I say about that.
We're also happy that the man Tatum is playing at the level he's playing.
Yes, and Tatum's playing at the level, man. I don't
like
see
that.
I don't see Deuce on TV. Well, I see Deuce on TV. I worry about his game. And I know that's his son-in-law, but I understand. You got to take care of your son. If it's an emergency and your son falls.
Nah, he's locked in. He came in. It looked different. That's the other part of it. It just looked different. Like we've been winning for years with these two guys. We've had winning records every season since he's been here, pretty much. I think every season since he's been here, we've had winning records. What it is it looks a lot different this year. The way he's playing, Tatum, and Jalen isn't falling off. He's doing Jalen stuff every single night, being consistent every night. And it's just Jason's game has taken another step that we've been waiting for. You know how it goes. It's hard when you have a rookie drafted that high who has that much talent and you want to anoint them before they even get there. And it happened in a big market like Boston. Like he got anointed quick. The first year they was in the finals, they weathered the whole Kyrie storm and all that stuff. Like then Kemba didn't work out and Gordon broke his leg in pieces. Like it's just been a lot that happened. And to see now another thing happen, but we weather it this time real well. And like I said, to see Jason take his game to a level that he's taking to right now.
Y'all been weathering it a long time. Y'all been weathering it a long time. Weathering it for a very long time.
Yeah. It's about time to get the fruits of the labor, man. It's about time for that.
Most teams don't even get to that point. Most teams,
right.
The wind blows and it's you already know.
You know, it's funny you say most teams don't even get there. That's part of our little commercial for in between every commercial that when they run the Celtics advertisement. That's the exact that's Marcus Smart saying that not every team gets that advantage. Not every team gets that taste. We want to go back. The job's not done.
Job's not done.
Not done. Number one, though.
Who got shout outs tonight?
I got shout out to you guys, man. Hold down the fort, man. If I was a little bit quiet than usual, it's hard to gain some energy, when you're dealing with it. But I mean, tomorrow or Friday, I should be back to 100%. May have to come on the group page, and talk for a few minutes. I'm mad that I missed the Chop Up show. Shout out to everybody that tuned in last night as well to the Chop Up, as well as everybody tuning in all week. Shout out to everybody that shared, comment, took a peek at us. And until next time, man, and we deliver fire, we'll see you then.
Already.
Shout out to our warrior, Willis Reed, a.k.a. Toop. Showing up hurt.
Still so tall.
And MJ showing up for his flu game. I see you, partner. Appreciate you, brother.
How Jordan feel after that game? Because I think I'm feeling the same way.
Y'all know the story behind that, right? Supposedly he was drunk. He wasn't really.
No, he was roasted.
Chocolate wasted. Anyways, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to both of y'all, really. But you, because you sick and everything. And he claimed in the old Red Sox front office. Wait. Oh, yeah.
I say at the same time, but at the same time, we know the Red Sox has been one of those teams that can weather through that storm. We talked about weathering the storm. I feel like they'll be able to.
Yeah, for sure.
Already. Shout out to you, brothers, man.
Yeah.
Two. Appreciate you pulling through tonight, man. Know you're under the weather. Hope you you continue to get healthy. Will. It looked like Two gave you what he probably got. Hope you get better soon, man.
I just yawning all day. I'm tired, man. It's crazy. He the one sick. I'm over here tired. He start yawning.
But shout out to Chris.
I've been in the bed all day.
My mother's sick, man. She gave me sick. I'm gonna be pissed.
Shout out to Chris, Bobby, Bumpy, Marie, Chris Vick, Patrick, Bernard, Bree, and Frankie. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. Make sure y'all here Sunday morning. Getting close to the end of football season for fantasy football.
Don't say it ain't so. Say it.
Playoffs have started in some leagues.
Playoff edition of Inside Fantasy Football. That's gonna be exciting. And hey, don't get mad at us if our sit and talk segment, because when it comes down to playoff time, that's kind of on you, player.
Well, we definitely appreciate y'all hanging out with us, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. We also have fun. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Peace.